Hey, Radiant Mama. Before we dive into today's episode, I have something extra special to share with you. If you're an entrepreneur who is craving connection, support, and real opportunities to grow your business, this is for you. I want to personally invite you to the Mama Means Business Networking and Mastermind event, a monthly virtual gathering designed to bring ambitious, passionate, purpose-driven mompreneurs together. This isn't just another Zoom call. This is where community meets opportunity. Imagine being surrounded by women who get what it's like to juggle motherhood and entrepreneurship, who see your vision and who are there to cheer you on, share resources, and help you shine. You'll walk away from each event with fresh inspiration, new genuine connections, a chance to promote your business, expert insight, and coaching moments, all in a safe space where you're seen, supported, and celebrated. This is how we rise and thrive together. Spots are limited to keep things intentional and impactful. So grab yours now using the link in the show notes. It's only $5 to reserve your seat, and it could be the best $5 you spent on your business and yourself. Better yet, invite a fellow mompreneur to join you and double the magic because, Mama, you're never meant to do this alone. Now, let's get into this episode.
In my own business, I'm wearing all these hats. It can be overwhelming, it can be confusing, plus, learning a little bit of everything, right? That was a big part to get used to and really understanding what takes priority at this moment. And then as we move on and build, understanding what my strengths are, what do I want to focus on, and then really letting go of delegating things that really do not give me joy, right? But that has to be done in business. So, yeah, for those mothers in your audience who are starting, I think congratulations. It's such a beautiful thing. I think the biggest thing for me was just really learning about myself, my own discovery, who I am in this business building, because that's the beauty, I think, of entrepreneurship.
Welcome to Radiant Mom Rising. Get ready to be inspired, empowered, and uplifted. I'm your host, Mary Dibble, and in each episode, we dive into amazing stories, insights, and conversations that help moms like you chase your dreams and embrace your worth. Let's rise and shine together. Hey there, Radiant Moms. Welcome back to another episode of Radiant Mom Rising. I'm Mary Dibble, your host, and I know that a lot of you are just getting settled in with the summertime, with the kids at home. So I hope everything is so far going smoothly for you. I work from home, so now I have my son and my daughter and my high schooler son at home. So it'll be interesting. I look forward to the activities we can do. With my oldest son, I used to every year around the summertime, I'd always order him the book, like an activity book for whatever his grade is going to be the following year. So I've just ordered that for Cade and Brea because I want them, Cade should be hopefully joining pre-K this year and Brea will be going into the first grade. So I want to make sure that they have activities over the summer to really help prepare them for that and give them something to do outside of just being like on their tablets, which luckily Cade loves being outside. He is my outdoors guy and Brea is my water girl. So I hope to be taking her to the pool. I got a splash pad for them. So fun activities. I'd love to hear from you listeners. Tell me what are some of your summer plans? Cade's about to turn 4. So we are going to be taking him to the zoo and celebrating him at home. So excited for that and some other things we have going on. We'd love to hear more about yourselves and what you have going on for your kids. What are some things that help you to juggle having a job with kids at home during the summertime? I'm sure some of you probably put your kids in summer camp. Like there's so many different things that we can do. Some of us have to have our kids at home. So like having to find ideas and things to keep them entertained and also knowledgeable, things like that. It can be challenging, I'm sure. So yeah, if you want to, reach out to me, DM me, let me know, leave a review, leave a comment, and let me know what are some of your summertime plans with your kids. I'd love to hear. So today I'm joined by a powerhouse guest, Elle Ballard, founder of Women of the World Network. Elle's story of leaving the corporate world to create a global community of women entrepreneurs is incredibly inspiring. And today she's sharing so much gold for moms who are ready to take charge of their lives. We're diving into what it looks like to juggle motherhood, business, and self-care without burning out. Elle talks about financial freedom, the importance of personal growth, and how sharing responsibilities at home can be a game changer. If you're ready to make small steps toward big dreams, tune in because this episode is full of encouragement, insight, and actionable tips just for you. Let's dive in. Welcome back. Today I'm with Elle. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm excited for everyone to get to know you. So, why don't you get started by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about what you do?
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me, Mary. It's great to be here. And I am passionate about being a mom in business, right? And I think it's the hardest job, right, to do. So I am excited to be here. My name is Elle. I have been building what's called Women of the World Network. I have experience in the corporate world in the marketing, but I've been building Women of the World Network as a community for multinational women in business. And we have a lot of things within the community. We write books, we have, visibility, we have our own podcast as well. Yeah, so excited to be here.
Yes, you're doing so many amazing things. Tell us a little bit about your
Thank you.
journey and what you've been through as a mom and mom entrepreneur that led you down this path.
Great question, right? It's so many learning and aha moments, but one of the big ones is what my kids, and now I have a grandkid, which is such an angel. She's 18 months now. And what our kids and now grandkids are teaching us is that's just such that has been a big part, right? We usually expect to give it to them, but I think sometimes we forget how much they give us, right? Make us wiser. Yeah, just the whole thing. It's been an amazing journey. Yeah, my journey from being in corporate as a mother was a little bit different, or is a little bit different as an entrepreneur. And what I mean is, I had a huge commute to do when I was in corporate, up to 3 hours both ways. So I was away from home a lot more. And my youngest daughter, she was in third grade, I believe, at a time or something like that. So I was really missing. And that was a sad part for me, right? To be missing her lunches at school or things. And I remember dreaming about at least having one day a week to work from home, so I will be able to do that. But it was still a good experience in terms of what everything that it gave me. But then starting my own company as an entrepreneur, of course, allowed me for more freedom on my schedule, on my calendar, and prioritizing some things as well. So
Wow, that's incredible. And that's what I think a lot of moms right now who are listening and stuff are striving for. They want that freedom so they can actually be present for
mm,
their kids and enjoy life and
yeah.
not have to be forced into the workforce. You know?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it is a wonderful thing to hear people who transition. Tell us a little bit of what that was like for you to go from the corporate into this world of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, and there are so many topics, right? We can
Yeah.
we can take on there and develop. One that comes to mind,
Yeah.
if it's a household with two parents,
Hmm.
it is so important to share the duties, right? I think moms and as women, we can do a lot of things. We can multitask. It doesn't mean, we have to, right? So I think the important thing is, and I'm thankful for my partner, that we were able to really split the duties so that we are able to dedicate time to be with our kids, but also time to be without our kids, where we feed ourselves
Yes.
so that we come back fully nurtured ourselves before we give back to them, right?
Yep.
Because we do so much,
Right.
depending on the age of the kids, of
Yeah.
course, right? But it's
Yeah.
just an ongoing, like I'm watching my daughter right now and remembering myself. Her daughter is 18 months. It's a tough job,
Yeah. Yeah, it takes you back.
right?
Then I know my mom is very active in our lives. And so for her, it's amazing. Like you were saying earlier, as the grandparent, like getting to see your child now become their own parent and watching the things that they may be doing differently that
Yes.
teaches you and inspires you.
Mm,
She tells me all the time, she's like, man, Mary, like I wish I knew what you had and had the resources you had because it's so wonderful to see the way you parent your kids compared to what I was like. And so I resonate that with that on the other end of hearing that from my own mom. But it's a whole
it
it's a whole
resonates.
new world. It's
Yes, it is. And I resonate with that as well.
yeah.
And I'm glad you brought that up because it's so interesting for me. It's been such a learning experience from mother shoes, which I still have, of course, because they're still my two. I had two
Always.
daughters, always from the shoes of the mother to the shoes of the grandmother. And that was a transition and learning period in itself, right? Because what I have done before is not transferring here. And that's been a beautiful learning experience where giving my daughter not overseeing what she's doing, but really just letting her be mom or learning how to be mom, right?
Yeah.
And that's such an interesting journey as well.
Sure it is. Yes, I'm sure it is. And going back to what you were talking about having a
Hmm.
partner for anyone out there who does have a spouse, I'm very grateful too. I have an amazing husband who right now is out here with my three kids because it's a snow day over here in Morganton, North Carolina, and there's no school. And it's so cool though because it's like,
Oh,
having that partner that you can rely
yes.
on and those people to help you, it's so important to
So important.
yeah, like he cooks and I do some of the cleaning, but he'll also clean. He'll do dishes sometimes to help me out or vacuum or whatever it is. And it's so nice to have that teamwork and especially for
Hmm.
your children. I'm very big on teaching your kids those skills. My 16-year-old, who's almost going to be 17 soon, since he was 7, has been like learning how to clean his own bathroom. I have a 3 and a 5-year-old who will clean up their own dishes, throw their own trash away. I'm starting
Good
to
for
I'm
you
starting
as
to
a
develop those
mom
skills.
to,
Yeah.
yes,
I think
to,
that's important.
yeah,
I do.
yes, that's so important. I agree. And good for you that you're instilling that in them early, that responsibility, whatever it is, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
trash or just really taking responsibility for themselves. I think that's
Yes.
such an important habit. And
Yeah.
and so if they have that habit and bring it to kind of everything in life, that is such
Yes.
a great, yeah,
It takes things off of you as a mom, but it also is teaching you
yeah.
life skills that they are going to need
Hmm.
eventually. That's why I tell
Yeah.
my son all the time, like, this isn't punishment. Like, you're going to have to do your own laundry. You're going to have to clean your own house,
Yeah.
your own toilets, and all that. So you better get used to it
Right.
now. So it's not so like, oh my God, what am I doing when you get out there? Because it's going to happen. So
Yeah.
that is a
Yeah.
mindset that I've always had and I've always believed in because I was very lazy and resistant when I was a teenager. And like, I want to do my best anyways to help them to not have that mentality that I did
Yeah.
as I grew
Hmm.
up.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Hey, Mama, quick break from the episode because I need to tell you this. Are you tired of feeling stuck, spinning your wheels, knowing deep down you're meant for more, but not quite sure how to get there? Listen up because I've opened up a few one-on-one coaching spots just for moms like you. This is your chance to get personalized, powerful support to help you stop playing small and finally start turning your goals into real life-changing results. Whether it's launching your business, building confidence, or finding clarity in the chaos, I've got you. Let's ditch the overwhelm and create the transformation you've been craving with a plan that works for your life. Head on over to marydibblecoaching.com right now and schedule your free Radiant Mom Breakthrough session before those spots fill up. Okay, now let's get back to the show. But yeah,
Definitely. That's great.
but please speak more to your journey as far as of course, becoming a grandma, but even your transition, like I say, coming from a corporate world to entrepreneurship, I find to be scary. For a lot of moms, a lot of
Yeah,
women,
for
a lot of
sure.
people to
Hmm.
transition. What are some of the things that you'd say helped you in the beginning? Because, when you first start a business, it takes time to grow that.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. One of the big things for me was really that I'm by myself, right? Because in the corporate, when you have all these departments
Yeah.
and I'm just responsible for the marketing part piece of it, you really get used to that idea where I can, go knock on the accounting door, right? Or I can go knock on a sales department door. And here in my own business, I'm wearing all these hats. It can be overwhelming, it can be confusing, plus, learning a little bit of everything, right? That was a big part to get used to and really understanding what takes priority at this moment. And then as we move on and build, understanding what my strengths are, what do I want to focus on, and then really letting go of delegating things that really do not give me joy, right? But has to be done in business. So yeah, for those mothers in your audience who are starting, I think congratulations. It's such a beautiful thing. I think the biggest thing for me was just really learning about myself, my own discovery, who I am in this business building, because that's the beauty, I think, of entrepreneurship. It really uncovers you for who you are.
Yeah.
because it's a journey, because this is a journey we all kind of walk alone. I mean, we have the support, of course, around us that we can use, but really it's a journey that's uncovering a lot of things that we haven't. That was a big part, and I think it's just great. It's been wonderful to learn about myself,
Yeah.
to maximize my own potential. And that's a big why, I think, why I'm keeping at it and
Yes.
continue doing it, because
Mhm.
that just I'm becoming a better person as a result of it. And that's a big one for me. So for those mothers who are starting, congratulations. I think it's very important to be able to secure, and that's another a topic we could touch on, to secure financial independence for mothers, right? Whether they have a partner or not. And starting small is key, especially having kids, so that, the mothers don't get overwhelmed. They don't get, starting small is key. And plus, I believe there are so many ways today to make money. It's all about just educating ourselves. So it doesn't have to be business, right? It could be any kind of investment to start building that wallet so that when the kids are older a little bit, being able to allocate more time, right? Or if it is a household where she's doing a lot of the duties as a mother, as a partner, I think it's very important to have a check coming in, right, for those duties to compensate as part of the family umbrella check, or
Exactly.
so I think the money part is really important, because we do a lot, and a lot of it is unpaid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, I
you know
saw a study one time that showed that moms do about 90 hours on average a week of
Mm,
unpaid labor. I mean, think about that. That's
yes.
ridiculous, but it's so true.
Yes,
And that's just who we are. We're givers. We
we
take care.
who
We're the
we are.
care. It is who
Mhm.
we are, but also at the same time, like you say, we also deserve to be making that money and
Yeah,
expanding and taking care of our families while also really making an
right.
impact. And that's what's beautiful about the entrepreneurship like journey is that
Hmm.
you're not only like I love it you brought up the whole personal development because it really does teach you so much about yourself and it helps you to
Yeah.
build that confidence of being okay to be yourself. I mean, so many of us feel like we have to be like this person or that person in order to make it. No, no, you actually
Mm-mm.
find your success by truly being you. And that's something that a lot
Yes.
of people don't realize. But also, it's fun. Like when you really learn to accept who you are and embrace that and just
Yeah.
go with it, like, whoa, like the things that start happening for you and the
Oh,
way you
it's beautiful.
feel, right? The
Yes.
way you feel is so
Right.
important to do that on this journey. And I know it's not easy. And that's why I'm big on the baby steps because there is no shame in anyone here who has a job. As someone who myself has had a job when I
Oh, yeah.
started my business and
Absolutely.
having kids, I still did it all because I had to bring in an income until my business was ready to take off. And that's okay.
Exactly.
That's what I try to help moms do is that reclaiming that time and just showing them that, hey, do baby steps. Start now, but you'll get there. You'll get there. And when you do, you're going to be so glad that you didn't wait. You didn't wait.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I think, to me, I became a better mother
Yeah.
because, as a result of this personal growth of business in business building.
Yeah.
Yes, I learned a lot in a corporate, but business building, entrepreneurship just opened another new level, right? And I became a better grandmother, a better mother because of that. But yeah, I believe if someone wanted to start something or not, right? If the kids are, say they have two kids, very little kids. And by the way, during pandemic, a lot of who stepped down from workforce moms, right? Like during
Mhm.
pandemic, that was a big one,
Yeah.
because
Big
moms
shift.
were the first ones,
Mhm.
right? And for those who were kids were small, it was harder on parents, so mom had to step down. For those, me including, my kids were older. My youngest daughter, she was older, but it was tougher on them
Yeah.
during pandemic because they were so secluded, right? But I think when it comes to taking care of kids and family, moms, it's kind of like they step up, right? And because of that, I think it's very important to make sure, the she is fully covered in terms of her own self-care,
Yeah.
mental, emotional, but also financial. I think it's very
Yes.
important. And by financial, I don't mean, maybe if she's not ready to do the business, I really mean maybe opening a saving account, right, on a side
Yes.
where the money is from the family allocated to her, right? Just really working through those things with the partner to make sure that's happening. I think that's very
Absolutely.
important
It
to
is.
think about. Hmm.
Oh yeah, see, I guess for me, working in the bank and industry when I was younger, it really saved me because it taught me so much about the future think mindset. Like,
Mm.
so many people don't really
Mhm.
think about like retirement and
Yeah,
preparing for things like that, or even
right.
investments and how even doing small investments, how that could change so much for your financial standings. Like you don't
Hmm.
have to be, I think a lot of people are thrown off by investments because they think that they have to put hundreds of thousands. No, there's so much out there now for everyday people that you can do a little bit here and there and it grows over time, and it's money that you wouldn't even normally think about a lot of times. But even like Dave Ramsey, I love his teachings about the envelope systems and things like that. There's so many different ways. I used to, for instance, when I used
Hmm.
to go grocery shopping, I had this thing where it's like, okay, since I'm already here, I'm going to pull out $20 or $10, whatever I have a little bit of cushion for at the time, and I put it in an envelope and forgot about it, and half the time I would end up paying off my entire year of daycare for my son by just putting a couple of into an envelope. So there's a lot of systems out there, right?
Yeah.
That's reasonable, and no matter where you're at, you can find a way that works for you, right? To get started now, to start building up that
Hmm.
abundance. And then even as you're doing your own business, like always try to find ways of like putting some of those fundings into ways to further invest in yourself and in your business to help you grow it even more. That's what it's truly about. But you don't really know
Yeah.
how to do that until you start doing it, right?
Yes,
There's no real,
exactly.
yeah, it really does
Yes.
take action.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But I love what you do for mothers. I think it's so important to have this, dedicated platform where we are all united
yes.
in being moms, right? And share everything
I
that has to go because it's I mean, I think it's our toughest job, right?
Yeah, because
And it never ends.
it doesn't, and especially when you don't know yourself, like, because it's so easy to get lost in a sauce because we put our kids
Yeah.
so first all the time, and we feel like we have to take
Mhm.
care of everyone and everything else that we forget that we matter too. And that's my
Yeah.
hope with this is to show moms like you matter too, your dreams matter too, and you're actually
Yes,
helping your children by pursuing
exactly.
that because you're not, like you say, you get to show up as a better mom, a better
Yes.
wife, a better everything for
Yeah.
yourselves by just doing that. And I just really, I don't care if it feels repetitive. I will keep preaching that to forever because it's
Yes.
so true and it's so powerful of a movement for moms because I believe in us supporting one another. I believe the more we come together and
I
support
agree.
one another, the more that we can all thrive. Rise and thrive together is like my motto because it's true. We can rise and thrive together. There's enough abundance for everyone. And the
Absolutely.
more we're willing to be givers and to help each other out, the more we're going to have that abundance show up for us in our own way. So I truly believe that. And I love what you do to help others. And I know,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. And I'd love to learn a little bit more. Like, tell us a little bit about your business and what you do and how you help others.
Yes, thank you. So Women of the World Network is a umbrella for women
I love it.
in business, multinational women in business. And so we have a lot of women from different parts of the world represented. I myself was originally from a country called Kazakhstan. I was born in when it was part of USSR, and I just wanted to create this platform. But we have women from all over. So there are kind of two sides to it. One side is business building. So we have networking, we have visibility opportunity through our books. We just published our book number 4, which is multi-author series. We have our own podcast as well, Empowered Global Women in Business. And we do networking and co-working and accountability on that end. Now, ever since my granddaughter was born, my own, like I was sharing a little bit, my own view on things shifted a little bit in terms of it opened new perspectives, and I'm opening what's called FFF Club within the Women of the World Network, which is geared more towards not necessarily business networking, but really for women to get together and talk about health, travel. So it's a sisterhood of women, but not necessarily for business network, right? I love anything and everything vitality and longevity. So we talk about the biohacks, preventative medicine. I'm also a dancer, so we'll be dancing.
Love
I
that.
do ballroom dancing as well. Yeah, so that is part sort of, I call it life.
Mhm.
So that umbrella is launching very soon, actually launching in May. I'm very excited about that. So yeah, so I love doing the work I do, and thank you for your your kind words, Mary. And I think that's part of the beauty of the business, just really making sure we follow what's calling us, because that's something is also that we need to pursue. It's not only just a wish, or it's not only just a desire. It's something that's calling our name. It's something that our soul wants to do. And yeah, yeah. So
It's
thank
listening to
you.
that and yeah, of course. Thank you
Listening
for
to
what.
that voice.
Yes, and just doing. I know it's scary at times.
Yeah,
There's so much
it is.
uncertainty, but if we learn to trust in that,
Yes.
like golly, we will never regret taking action on it, no matter what. And it's through the ups and downs that we learn. Even the downs that we learn the most, especially. So I think it's beautiful to see women like you who are doing making such an impact and helping people to reach that next level, because I
Thank
don't believe
you.
we're all meant to do this by ourselves. I do believe we're meant to be united and help each other get there, together. Like I said, rise and thrive together. It's such a powerful thing because it's like it's so true. Because I can imagine what you've seen in the outcomes of what you created. And it does take time to build something like that, which is I can't
Mhm.
imagine like how fun that was actually over time, seeing it grow, watching all these women come together and knowing that you're making a difference for them. And that's what this is all about. So yeah, by the way, of course, share with us like where can people go to find you? Where's the best place?
Yeah, my website is ellballard.com, and it's easy. And then from there, they can go to Women of the World Network as well. We have retreats. We're doing Morocco in September. But from that website, they can kind of navigate everywhere, or it's womenoftheworldnetwork.com, one website. But Elle Ballard might be easier, ellballard.com. And then, yes, yes. And thank you for having me.
Of course, it's been amazing to have you. And I always open the floor. Is there any final piece of advice that you'd like to share with moms today?
Yes, I think just not forgetting about ourselves is very important. And I touched on it briefly at the beginning when we talked, but I think the emotional part of it is definitely important, especially if there are a lot, few like smaller kids, right, growing up. We have to tend to them a lot. So it's important to take care of you, but also I think the big thing is if there is some kind of a wish that the mother wants to do, whether it's start a business, whether it's an investment, whether it's whatever activity, whatever hobby, just go and do it, because it's making mom better. Mom will be happier, and then she will bring that happy energy back to the kids. But she will also lead by example, right? Kids don't do what we say, they're going to do what
Do
we
what we
do.
do.
And so she's going to lead by example of this is me and I'm following my passion, and then the kids will do that for themselves as well. And I think that's an important example that moms can put out there.
I couldn't agree more. It's truly what it's all about, and I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Elle,
Thank
for
you.
everything you shared, for being part of this show, being part of my world. I love this is exactly what I do, what I do. I love meeting new people and getting the opportunity to share your story and inspire others. So thanks again for being part of this.
Thank you, Mary.
Such a wonderful conversation. I hope you all enjoyed that. Here are the key takeaways from today's episode. You don't have to do it all. Delegating household responsibility is a powerful act of self respect and balance. You can take small, consistent steps towards your financial and personal goals and still be a present and loving mom. You deserve financial independence, not just to provide, but to feel empowered, free, and confident. You have what it takes to grow through entrepreneurship. It's not just about business, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. You can lead by example. Your children are watching how you treat yourself, your time, and your dreams. You are allowed to prioritize self-care without guilt. It's not selfish, it's essential for sustainability and joy. You're capable of rewriting your story. Even if you're coming from burnout or uncertainty, there's always a path forward. Be sure to connect with Elle by visiting her at ellballard.com. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to share it with a mom friend and leave us a review. It is most helpful and only takes a moment of your time. If you are a mom in business, be sure to follow me on Eventbrite and join us for the next Mama Means Business networking event to make new connections, grow your network, discover new opportunities, and get the support you deserve so you thrive in both business and life. I hope to see you at our next event. And mama, before you go, I want you to know that I'm opening a few exclusive one-on-one coaching spots for moms who are ready for real transformation. If you're tired of playing small, feeling stuck, or putting everyone else first while your own dreams sit on the back burner, this is your moment. This is for the woman who knows she's meant for more, the mom who's ready to step into her full power, create a life she loves, and finally start moving toward the goals that have been calling her heart. With loving guidance, personalized support, and a plan tailored to you, we'll work together to create the results you deserve for yourself and your family. So if you're ready to turn things around and start showing up as the version of you that's been waiting to break free, head on over to marydibblecoaching.com and schedule your free consultation today. Let's uncover what's been holding you back and map out your next bold, beautiful step forward. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, much love.